So I am trying to button. Fun, fun. I should have played with this stuff more. Right. So welcome to the Rings. I'm Ring Dude Rich. Uh, just mucking about, trying to get some screen time in over on Kick to go ahead and start jumping through the hoops that I need to jump through over there. Um, and then also prep some other stuff that I am doing for um, the the channel and the brand and all that happiness. So I am working with a very talented young man to go ahead and improve my logo from that AI monstrosity that I have as a placeholder for right now. So that will be getting upgraded here in the near future. And then also just mucking about and uh, having fun, just goofing on. Hey, Jesus, how's it going? Um, but I figure, well, the other shows aren't going on tonight. Might as well use this as a filler to go ahead and keep prepping stuff for the various projects that I've got going on down the pipe. And then also, you know, hit my march to 5 hours of streaming over and done with so I can go ahead and start getting everything in line for the kick side of things. And if you want to hop in and just sit in the background and BS, you're welcome to. You've got ops. Um, you guys are just chilling and eating dinner. I fully understand that too. I don't know if my mic is picking up Miss Team Pro having their conversation in the other room. So let me go ahead and do the smart thing and swing my door closed a little bit. Ah, there we go. And because I am now enclosed in a small oven, I am a very rotund individual. I need to go ahead and start getting some air a moving before I just sweat the hell out. Yes, of course. It decided to go ahead and froth on me, you little rat bastard. So I'm probably just going to ramble like mad while I go ahead and muck about with some stuff. I've had a decent day. Uh, we've been needing new living room furniture for a while. So Misty, Crow, and I went out to my Bub's Discount Furniture, and we're looking for either a living room set or sectional or something to take the place of the 20 some odd year couch um, that we have been using for a while that has definitely seen better days. Um, and sure enough, we get in there and pretty much the first uh, living room set that they show us is the one that um, Misty falls in love with. Um, but we went ahead, walked around, found other stuff, and found what I want in my man cave. Should we ever move into a home again, um, where there's actual um, freaking um, speakers in the couch and love seat and recliner chair and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, this is freaking awesome. Um, but it was too much stimulation for Crow. It was too much stimulation for Misty. Uh, they couldn't handle it because just the sheer volume. It was kind of freaking insane, actually. How loud it was. Um, so I'm not going to fault them on that, but it was pretty nifty. But yeah, it's the first um set that we came across. Um it's extremely comfortable. Um, I don't fault Misty and Crow one iota, 1 second for uh going ahead and choosing that one. Um, and honestly, as soon as we sat down and I was like, yeah, I think this is probably the one we're going to go home with. But I mean, technically, we didn't go home with it. It's going to be delivered in a couple of weeks. But yeah, it's pretty nifty. Uh, it's got the power recline and um, plenty of charging ports and such. So um, pretty happy with it. And then of course um, needed some new end tables to go with it. So, we'll now have seating for six. Um, kind of happy about that. And then went to Sam's Club right after because I was on the way home, and we got the membership back in November, right around Black Friday, and we still haven't had a chance to go as a family to Sam's yet. And now Misty understands why I wanted the Sands um, membership. Um, Dropped a a pretty penny over there. But that being said, um, we also don't have to worry about you know groceries for the main thrust of our meals for a while. You know, the vegetables and um, the the celery and carrot, snack things and stuff like that. Yeah, we got to worry about that stuff, but we don't have to worry about main dishes or anything like that. Uh, so yeah, I'm just sitting here rambly. So what I'm actually working on in my hand right now is full Persian 6-in-1, and uh, it is going to end up being a collar for an ugly cat. Um, so folks who have had a chance to see me and my oddity and everything will know that I've got a miniature pinscher um, named Bella that I refer to as an ugly cat because it is a dog the size of a cat who sleeps all day long. Um, it does all the cat things. Uh, love it when you drop a ring. It's easy color to tell. And the fun thing about the small rings when they get in carpet is they will get very deep into the carpet so that you cannot see them, and then you will move your foot just right, and uh, it's like finding fleas on a dog. Just you come across the grain just right, and it just pops right up. So, uh, for anyone who does not get to that reference, uh, I I hope you never have to deal with it. For folks who know, yeah, uh, fun. Anyways, um, I squirreled myself. I have no idea what I was mumbling about before coming this way. Oh yeah. Um, so yeah, this is for our our dog Bella. Um, Misty was wanting it to go with um, red because red is the color of her collar right now. Um, which no, her color was always black. It was Bucky's because I see Bucky's collar over there. Bucky's was the red collar. But anyways, um, uh, sorry, I spoiled myself again. But yeah, it's just doing is a full Persian 6-in-1 uh, chain that is going to get turned into a collar for the dog, and it's just going to be um, for looks only. It's not going to support anything. If it does support anything, it's not going to support anything more than um, a hi, my name is Dumbass. I belong to Dumbass, and his gorgeous wife Misty. Um, if found, please call this number and ask for Dumbass. Um, kind of a thing. But anyways, so here I am, just working on this and uh, doing it as a uh, the main color is going to be the red right here, with the accent color being the storm gray, according to Chainmail Joe. That's what they call that color. And all these rings are from Chainmail Joe that I'm working with today. They are 20 gauge um, AWG American wire gauge, um, and they are 3/16 of an inch. So uh, I don't know exactly what the AR is off the top of my head. Um, the AR is 6.0. So don't know here. That's coming out brighter or not on the camera, but uh, yeah, the 20 gauge 3/16 with an AR of 6.0. So what the gauge means is how thick the wire is. So with the 20 gauge AWG, we are looking at 0.032 roughly inches, or zero point 0.8 millimeters for the diameter of the wire. And then the 3/16 of an inch is the inner diameter of the ring when the ring is fully closed. Um, so it would be the uh, inner diameter right there of the inner hole. And then you take um, uh, inner diameter and then you divide that by the wire diameter, and then you end up getting the aspect ratio. And the aspect ratio tells you how things are going to fit together and stuff like that. So you want to pay attention to your AR, um, because certain weeds are going to want AR to be set up at a certain ratio so that everything fits together properly. Um, so uh, do I have one handy? Yes, right here. Um, so uh, so almost anywhere you go, uh, come on, yes. So almost anywhere you go for your chainmail, they will probably be able to supply you with this aspect ratio guide, which basically is just something that will tell you um, what the ring size and the um, ring diameter turns out as far as AR. So each of these little circles has a number inside of it that is the AR. Now, if you don't know what your ring is and you don't have a proper measuring tool, that's where things like this come in very handy because you can just take this and then you can just go ahead and drop it on the guide, and then you move the ring around till you don't see any white. Um, and then that will tell you pretty much where you're sitting. Because I'm having to do this weird and my camera setup has changed slightly. You can't see it as well, but you can go ahead and explain it in a later video when I'm actually doing actual stuff, not just mucking about, trying to make my run towards, uh, 5 hours a week on a kick. But, so with, and the thing I like about Chainmail Joe is theirs on the backside of the aspect ratio guide will actually tell you, hey, these are the aspect ratio. I will learn how to speak here eventually. It's not like I do it for a living. Actually, technically, I don't do it for a living anymore. Um, at least not yet. We'll see about in the near future. But it'll show you what the aspect ratios are and what weaves are going to be really um, geared towards using that kind of a thing. So, like full version 6 and 1 um, is going to use a 5.0 to 6.0 aspect ratio, with the ideal aspect ratio being like a 5.3. And that just means that at 5.3, there's going to be a certain rigidity to it that is going to lend the weave to be its at its best. And it's actually kind of subjective as far as that goes because it depends on what you're actually trying to do with the weave. If it's a structural weave for some type of sculpture, then of course you are going to want that weave to be a little bit tighter. You're going to want everything to go ahead and be just a smidge um, more stiff and such to go ahead and basically make it so that it will support and stay in place instead of just flop right on over. Uh, yep. We'll go ahead and turn that in. So let's go and put that back over to here. I don't know how long I was mailing off camera. I apologize. But yeah, uh, this is probably one of my favorite hobbies of the 19,563,212 that I have. Um, this and working on um, my my writing, um, both my fiction and my technically it's nonfiction. Um, um, but as it's about myth and lore and stuff like that, technically it is kind of fiction. Um, because as I am working on a book about werewolf legends throughout the world, you know, where you can find what flavor of shifter. Uh, of course, it's going to have a larger bent towards werewolves, as werewolves are the you know probably most infamous of the shifter types out there. Um, uh, And I did not take it away because that feels weird. So pick up those two. Good. Yeah, right. Son of a motherless goat. All right. Try this again. Have both those across them again. Okay, good. Oh, no wonder I can't see. I'm wearing my actual glasses. Uh, haha. And for anyone that heard that statement and their brain just went, what? Um, because of my diabetes, um, there has been changes to my eyes, and the eye doctor does not want to give me a new glasses prescription because they don't want the um, the condition to get repaired, and then basically I'm now stuck with a pair of glasses that I don't need for another, calendar year, till it's time to get new spectacles. Um, so uh, doing this, I'm actually using magnification 2.0 reading glasses that you can pick up at any pharmacy or um, department store, type of a thing. Um, so all my close-up stuff, I'm actually seeing better um, with my cheaters. Now I've also got um, really nice set of uh, dental loops over there that work really nicely for this as well. Uh, Shout out to my dentist, um, Dr. Lahif, you rock. Um, he pointed me in the direction for those, and those do a good job as well when I have to get into some really tight places and stuff like that with some of these weeks. So just sitting here and mucking about, looking up every so often just to see if anything new is starting to come through or anything like that. Um, if you enjoy watching me babble, um, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to um, the channel, whatever channel platform you are watching on. Um, if you do not um, like or do not want to uh, do that, No hard feelings. It's all good. You do you. Um, Thanks for just coming over and watching and listening to me rant about the inanity of the world. And I can definitely launch into just a long diatribe of various stupidity. In fact, actually, yeah, let's go ahead and go with that. So for a lot of my life, I have dealt with adult education in one flavor or another. I do not have a degree in it. Um, but for the past 13 years, I was a IT technical trainer for a um, global 100 law firm. And I recently separated from that company. Um, and it's a shame. I really loved that company. It's supported it for 22.5 years across two different vendors, and then being a real boy employee of the firm itself. I wouldn't have devoted that much time to something that I don't really love, and it was just a great company. It was a great firm. It still is. I mean, just because I left doesn't mean that, suddenly, it's not. It's a wonderful, great place. Um, and it's um, for the longest time, I didn't realize just where we sat with everything that we were actually, um, among the, um, well, I should say they, not me anymore, because I'm not part of that company. But that firm was part of the top 100 earners globally, um, as far as law firms go. It was a pretty big law firm. It still is a pretty big law firm. Um, but I am going to miss it. I am currently looking for a new gig. Um, and starting to rack up a ton of side hustles, getting things ready for all of that. Uh, Took a couple of weeks to kind of clear my head, and it was um, the day I was informed that I was going to be let go, and the firm gave me 2 weeks notice, saying, "Hey, we don't want to just dump you high and dry." So they did great by me. It was an amicable separation. I can't complain. Um, Again, I love the firm. I am not going to drop the name on air, just because um, law firms get prickly about that kind of stuff. Um, and Again, I don't wish them any ill will. It's the IT training manager that took over a year ago. Does not see um, value in me remaining part of the team. Therefore, she made the decision to put me on a performance improvement plan. Um, and I was not meeting the metrics she wanted me to meet. So she decided to cut her losses. Instead of giving me the full 60 days, she cut me at 30. So um, yeah, it was fun, birthday present being put on a improvement plan. Um, and then I feel like goalposts were being moved and whatever. Um, and again, um, I don't hold any grudges to the firm or anything like that. It's just, if that's the way things are going to go, maybe it is best for me to be elsewhere. And, I don't wish her any ill will. I don't wish the firm any ill will. Um, it really is one of the best places I've ever had the pleasure to work. It's, uh, uh, the best manager I ever worked with, who's now a director. Um, uh, is still there. Um, so it's, um, some really great help desk people are still there. Um, it's just, again, that manager did not see a value add as far as me and the firm, and it's some issues I was having. You know, I wasn't getting out of my own way fast enough for their pleasure. Got hit up by a headhunter, um, recruiter, whatever you want to call it. Basically, the day before I was let go, um, and they got me a, phone interview that turned into a Zoom interview. Um, and it went pretty well. Um, actually, take it back. It was that one was a straight to a Zoom interview. Um, it was another law firm that I applied to that was a phone call that got to a Zoom interview, and then they passed on me. But the one that the recruiter set me up on, um, they they fast tracked me to a final, um, and they've got some other candidates that they have to finish interviewing um, before they can even contemplate putting out any offers. But I really liked that that firm. It's uh, I'd get to do something I've dreamt of, which is completely build the training program from the ground up. Um, yeah, they've never had an IT trainer before. This is a brand new created role, so it'd be nice to go ahead and get in there. And um, it was it was the type of interview um, that I I really wish I could have had more of in my life. So it felt less of being drilled and drilled about, trying to prove why I'm worthy of working X, Y, Z. And, it became, You know, it felt more like a conversation between brand new old friends. And it was that every step of the way. So that was five individuals that I interviewed with that day. And each one, it just, they, you know, the IT folks, the president of the firm, the board members that I talked with, the HR lady that I talked to, it they were all it was all comfortable. It was all, it's I that's that's how things were back in the day for the firm that I was just separated from. That it was just it felt like family. It felt like home. It felt comfortable. Um, and maybe that was part of maybe that was part of my downfall at my previous firm is that um, I forgot it was work, and not home, you know. Um, but it is what it is. I'm I'm hoping things pan out with uh, this new firm. Means I have to spend more time, actually physically in Chicago and go downtown again. But it is what it is. You you gotta you gotta make do for the family. So what I'm doing right here is I am just measuring to see. So we are a third of the way there. So yay! Um, so Bella's neck is about 12 and a half inches around. So this is about 4 inches worth of the chain. Um, so it'll be pretty good. Now, when I do full Persian in two colors, um, people hear me talk about what I call the main and the accent colors. So basically, for me, the main color is the color that you are seeing when you look straight on the way that it is supposed to sit. But because it's a bracelet, it can actually flex and turn and what have you, depending on how the clasps are going to be. So I mean, technically, it's a collar, but it's still in essence a bracelet. It's going to be a stretch of chain with two clasps that will go ahead and meet together to go ahead and do what needs to be done. So right now, what I want to do is figure out how many units I've done. Okay, so roughly 21 units is 4 inches ish. Um, so yeah, I definitely am going to need more rings um, to go ahead and finish this up. So let's go ahead and start opening some more rings. Uh, so um, I'm gonna break, let my hands chill for a moment. So let me go ahead and swap things back so that my ugly mug is in front and center. So um, yeah, nothing to crazy like hair sticking up in every freaking direction. Uh, a couple things to talk about real quick. And of course, the actual chainmail lessons and things like that will go into a lot more depth uh, when I am actually doing mailing lessons. Sometimes I will just be doing mail on screen like I am right here. And uh, yeah, for my friends who are in the know, um, uh, yeah. Anyways, while I am putting together chainmail, um, yeah, that's going to be a good portion of what this is. And, this is just for fun, um, for kicks. It's just goofing off, you know, uh, doing something I love and hopefully bringing it to other folks so folks can see how easy, making some pretty nifty stuff can be. Uh, and, it's, uh, actually, it was pretty sharp against just even regular skin. Not even, starting to talk about, uh, the dog's fur. But anyways, um, long story longer. Where was I going? Oh, actually, I was going in here. Um, so, a couple things that we want to go ahead and point out is, and again, I will expound on this much heavier and much further in future episodes. This is kind of just a behind the scenes of um, an episode zero of just me, putting some stuff together, um, having some fun, goofing off, um, uh, being the best me that I can be. Um, but anyways, so when we are um, talking about chainmail, let's go ahead and bring up the agenda. Oh, wait, wrong agenda. Um, uh, this is my retirement plan. My retirement plan is have a uh, cat. Actually, sorry, this is my retirement plan. Have a cat and get a volcano lair. I've got the cat. I need the volcano lair. And then, of course, Han shot first. You Gungan loving Nerf herder. Uh, but uh, on a more serious note, chainmail is what you need is smooth jaw pliers, and then you need some jump rings to go ahead and fasten and um, combine to make really cool looking stuff. Um, and yeah, I I make a whole bunch of different things here and there. Um, oh, the other thing is you have to make sure that you have thumbs. Without thumbs, you cannot properly grasp the pliers to do what needs to be done. Uh, but some of the things that I have made, um, go ahead and bring this back up. You know, um, this heart is actually um, one size up from these as far as the rings go for doing a really nice half Persian. These are going to end up being God, in my hand it feels like 16 gauge, but I know it's got to be 18 gauge FWG, and then 1/4 inch diameter, um, for more of the full version stuff. Uh, Bracelet that I finished out for a friend, um, in full version 6 and 1. So it's real nice and pretty. Um, see me for this stuff. Uh, and steel flowers, crucifixes, a ton of crucifixes. Um, Started working on a um, bracelet for Pride that is basically uh, Pride Ally. Uh, I've got one for Bi. I've got one for NRA. Uh, just um, other bits of scale, just of that stuff. But yeah, it's just a ton of a fun little project to muck about with. You know, I do a lot of weird and random stuff. Um, I am working on a couple of projects that are centered in European foreign one. Um, hey, this the other stuff. Um, so uh, this is going to be the wall of a hat. Basically, it's going to meet back around with this, and then this is going to top the hat out, and this is actually going to be a fez. When the rings get here, I am definitely going to be working on something on screen. I'm going to work on it on screen, off screen, because if I just work on it on screen, it'll never get done. Um, and that is going to be a scarf in the style of the Tom Baker era Doctor Who. Uh, I saw them earlier. What did I do with them? Um, that is a bummer. Here they are. Had to go one tote down. Um, Another thing. Nope, that's copy. Another thing that I made is um, a let me enlarge myself. Uh, Tie out of chainmail in a couple different flavors. So a couple different gauges, a couple different Well, same inner diameter. There's two different gauges. Um, this is 16 gauge, 1/4 inch inner diameter, where this is 18 gauge, 1/4 inch inner diameter. And howdy, um, Spambot. How are you today? Um, these days, I hope I didn't just type this, which would be, ironic. Uh, I thought. Oh, but fun, fun, fun. Uh, sorry, depending here real quickly. Um, I'm still learning, Tate. Right. Okay. Didn't notice that feature before, so turn that on. Um, fun, fun, fun. It's not always going to be me wallowing about not knowing how to work things. I'll figure it out eventually. And after all, it's what I do best. Um, right. Gotta do the weird. Uh, yeah. So now that I've done all that hoopla, um, back into hockey. Yeah, it's like crap out of my way. That was loud. Sorry, my back just popped as I was looking about over here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add to the number of open rings so I can go ahead and keep this project on task. So, but yeah, it's like I was saying before I so rudely interrupted myself by paying attention to a bot is that, really all you need is something to open and close the rings with, usually smooth jaw pliers. Now, my smooth jaw pliers, I actually have a rubber coating on, so that if I slip, um, because of my arthritis, that I do not mar my rings. What I mean by that is, you've got a hardened steel against a soft aluminum that is coated in a dye, um, through the anodization process. Um, Wording is hard, but uh, basically, in a nutshell, the quick and dirty version of what anodization is, um, they take aluminum, what these rings are made out of. They attach it to an electric current and they submerge it in a solution of, um, uh, I believe it's some kind of acid and a dye mixture, and the electricity passing through, um, the aluminum is going to make uh, uh, the dye basically, um, quote unquote, magnetically attract to the aluminum and bond, forming this colorization. Now, um, the thing about anodization is it's almost never the same exact color in multiple batches, because you're always going to have slightly different variants. Something was left in too long, someone added just a hair more dye this time, or a hair less dye, or someone didn't clean the vat out good enough so that there's a slight residue of purple, so it's going to throw off things. Um, a lot of times you'll get stuff that's really, really close, but yeah, it's never going to be 100% perfect unless it's the same batch. And I guess there's a couple ways to go ahead and do the anodization. One way, and the main way I know, is to go ahead and pass it through the entire wire, then coil up the wire, and then snip the wire, or use a saw to go ahead and cut the wire, which reminds me, I need to go ahead and price a ringer later. Um, and start making some of my own rings for some weird ARs that I want to try. Um, because I like math, because I'm a weirdo. Um, oh, and I never put back on my names, did I? Uh, yeah, the false, inflated of, um, quote unquote real followers and live viewers. It might be true and legitimate. This person might be able to go ahead and pull that off. But I don't know. It always seems really, really fishy to me. Um, it'd be really nice to be able to earn money while streaming and just goofing off and BSing and talking. Um, it's doing what I love, but I make a lot more. teaching people how to use their computers and how to use the applications on those computers. Um, which, hey, I mean, right now I'm freelance. So if anyone does have something that they want to learn, feel free to go ahead and reach out. ringdudrich@gmail.com. Uh, if I see that something is legitimate, um, I'll give you my normal personal um, Gmail account that I would normally go ahead and use to go ahead and instruct folks. Um, it's I can help you with Office. I can help you with some stuff in parts of Adobe. Really depends on what, but here's the thing: is I am really good at learning. Um, so if there's something that you want to learn that I don't know, but I can afford to go ahead and get, I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll learn that, and I can put together, a personal training plan. I can go ahead and put together some videos. Um, uh, I've I got time. Um, I can teach you how to mail. I can teach you um, uh, all sorts of things. Um, a lot of times I am pontificating and just blathering on about uh, various philosophical and ethical dilemmas as I see it throughout the world and the nation and the world. Because in a situation like that, you want to start small and go large. No matter what certain politicians want to go ahead and think that the world revolves around the United States of America. Um, we're a bunch of entitled jackasses. Um, and I think a lot of the rest of the world is starting to grow thin and weary of the stuff that we do a fair amount of the time with a certain, shall we say, um, anger overload, um, cheesy uh, corn snack, as I like to call him, the hate Cheeto, um, would like to go ahead and blather on and claim that everyone loves us, everyone wants to be us. No, no, they don't. Uh, because of the inaction, as well as actions of certain members of the ruling class of America. And yes, we do have a ruling class. No matter how much we want to say that we aren't a monarchy anymore, it's we are a monarchy. We're always going to be a monarchy. Um, it's there. We're always going to bow at someone's feet, and right now it's um, King Elon and King Donnie starting to whip out their dicks and having a measuring contest about who is the true ruler of America. Uh, But yeah, again, I'm blathering, I'm rambling. Oh wow, I made it over an hour now. I did not realize that. Rock on. Okay. Um, but yeah, I'm just sitting here rambling to myself and making stuff. And right now I'm doing the boring ass part of making stuff, which is the opening of rings. So, um, let me show something real quick while I'm thinking of it. Um, so I'll show this on a larger ring because reasons. Uh, so whether it is a saw cut or a machine cut ring. So we've got the ring, and we want to go ahead and do stuff with it. So, well, we're either going to have to close it up the best we can so that it can be woven into something as is, or what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to open it. Now, when we open rings, the things we want to point out. First off, um, when you open a ring, uh, first thing you want to do is you want to find to see where the seam is. So with my fingernail, I can feel that there's a seam right there. And I can see that there's a seam right there. Now, I don't want to take and pull it apart because that's going to deform the ring. So what I want to do is put my pliers on either side of where that cut is and just do a gentle twist. And that's going to open that ring up so that I can actually slide other rings on it or it through other rings and go ahead and get it to combine to become whatever weave I am trying to make. So that's basically what I'm doing here is I'm just picking up a bunch of these little rings and one by one I'm finding where that split is. And again, I'm just doing a simple twist. And I'm getting tired. So I might go ahead and bounce like a fat kid belly when he's chasing the ice cream truck. And I know I was the fat kid chasing the ice cream truck. Um, and yeah, my stomach beat the hell out of me that day. It's when I decided I will no longer run, even if I'm chased. Because screw it, I am not dying tired. Yeah, I'll chase someone down and beat their ass, but and really, there's only one individual I would wish that upon right now. Um, but he is not here to defend himself, so we will not speak ill of those who are not present. Uh, he is still alive and kicking. I hope he has a um, long life, and I hope he gets exactly what he deserves. Um, and take that whatever way you want. Uh, if he turns around and pulls his head out of his ether, I wish him nothing but the best. Um, but if he continues being a raving jackass, then you know, I I hope he finally crosses the wrong person who is going to teach him a lesson and put him in his place. Hopefully not in a bad. Now, for folks who aren't used to me, I've been bullied a lot. Uh, Fat kid, as a weird kid, as a smart kid. Uh, any one of those things kind of sucks for your preteen and teen years. Uh, if you are in uh, a setting that does not appreciate those kind of folks, then things get kind of off the rails sideways kind of a thing. But yeah, I was bullied as a child. I've got a surprising to others, not surprising because I know where it comes from. Um, disdain, dislike, and hatred of those who abuse, those who manipulate. Um, whether you're a physical bully, whether you're doing the mind fucks, I don't care. Neither one is good. Neither one is right. Neither one deserves anything but you know having the worst day freaking possible. Um, not every day, just here and there. And I try to zen up. Now other folks would go swinging and whatever right off the bat. And I used to be that kind of person, and I changed very early on. Um, I hate to admit this because it's going to make me sound like such a fucking mama's boy, but because my mother told me she was disappointed in the choices I was making. The words, "I'm disappointed in you, Richie," uh, really struck home and really, really messed with my head. Uh, it is what it is. Yeah, God, I say that's way too freaking often. But I mean, it's the truth. The world is weird. The world is not a happy, shiny people holding hands kind of a place. Um, it's it's fucked up more than any of us want to know, and any of us want to go ahead and tolerate. I mean, And I'm starting to ramble like that. But we are going to get up to the hour and a half mark. I'm going to play a couple of ads at that point in time, and then I will come back and I will say auf Wiedersehen. So now I've been Ring Dude Rich on the Due to the Rings YouTube channel. Um, uh, I'm on as currently I think R. Asplin Jr. on Twitch, um, which I need to go ahead and change up my Twitch username to basically just make things same across the entire gamut. Over on Kick, you can find me as Ring Dude Rich. Um, uh, I love doing weird little crafty things with my hands. I do a lot of it. Um, the various colors that I ended up picking up, trying to figure out what kind of uh, coloration I wanted to go ahead and do for um, my idiot dog Bella. So yeah, it's uh, my wife has a bracelet like this made out of these two colors, the blue and the silver. She loves it, and I'm glad. Um, I like to see her smile. I like to see her eyes light up when I make stuff for her. Well, I just saw that we ticked over the 1 hour and 30 minute mark. Let's some of this stuff up because I am getting tired and I'm starting to ramble. Let's go ahead and play a couple of ads. Um, I probably should have laid some bed music down too. Um, but yeah, let's go ahead and uh, actually for that I need to go over to here. Um, so let us go ahead and start out with, if I can find it. I know it was in here somewhere. Uh, there. Um, show some love to the Sisters of the Hook channel. Sisters of the Hook, our friend Tosh, over on Sisters of the Hook, who does chainmail as well as crochets. Um, uh, great people over there. Um, while we're at it, let's go ahead and play ads for Trey and do we have one for the network in and of itself? Um, and I don't see an ad for this. So let's play Trey's ad. Hmm. Um, of course, let's go ahead and show some love towards our good friend Nick Tuckert as well. Hmm. Well, myself to have me full size again. So, um, thank you for watching this far. If you have watched this far, um, yeah, I'm glad that uh, you gave me the time of day to watch and see me blather about and just goof off for a little bit while I'm still working on some of the back end stuff for the channel. And it's full actual real launch. Um, But I rambled on enough for one evening. Um, so I will leave you with this. Um, the best lesson I was ever taught in my life came from my grandma, and that is that a smile or a laugh is the best gift you can give another human being. It's never the wrong color. It's never the wrong size. It's never the wrong style. For one brief shining moment, you have brightened somebody's existence. Go out there and be the change you want to see in the world. Go out there and show love. It's my father always used to say, love breeds love and hate breeds hate. Go out there and love and spread happiness and joy everywhere you can because it's too dark of a world for us to be fighting and bickering about stupid shit. And way too often we are arguing about stupid shit. So again, I leave you with this. I wish you health, happiness, hope, love, laughter, and light. Uh, may all your days be bright. Now, that is it for me for now. Um, thanks for putting up with me. Have a great night. Bye bye. Thank you, pieces.